Wonderful. You know what, for those of you that are just tuning in, I would like to remind you of why we're all here. You might be saying, QVC, what's happening? Elton John is on QVC. Well, I want to explain to you, we have a very, very special compilation. These two CDs right here, one of which happens to be the latest collaboration of Elton John and Bernie Taupin, which of course is The Captain and the Kid, what we've been talking about. But what's really special that I want to remind you of is there is a bonus CD that's included with 5 live versions of songs. 3 of the songs are on the CD we're talking about today. 2 of the songs are some older favorites that I know you have. One of them is my personal favorite called Someone Saved My Life Tonight. But the price on this compilation, first of all, is $17.93. It's an advanced order that will ship to you on November 13th. So if you want it for the holidays, don't worry. You have plenty of time to get it on time for the holidays. And one other thing I'd like to tell you about is that this bonus CD with the 5 live performances can only be found right here on QVC. You cannot find it anywhere else right now. So keep in mind about that date.
I haven't got one.
You haven't got one?
You haven't got one?
The first time I've seen it. Yeah. I'll have to buy one. I'll buy one.
Well, you know, it's almost, I almost feel silly ever asking an artist what their favorite song is, because it's like, how do you pick one of your children?
Right.
But do you have a favorite?
On the new album, I'm very fond of a song called Blues Never Fade Away, because it's very touching and it refers to lost, and I've lost a lot of people in my life, and so has everybody who's watching out there. It refers really to people who are taking them from us too soon.
Right.
And we always say, why now? Why is this person taken at such an early point in their life? And why am I still here when they've gone? And we all ask that question to ourselves. So I really love that song.
And you know, you're going to get a chance to perform it right now. So we are so excited to have you do that. So we'll get back into a little bit more of the interview later, but we would love to have you perform. So
okay, this song is called Blues Never Fade Away. And as I said, it's about loss. It's called Blues Never Fade Away, and we're going to do it right now. He wasn't famous, but I sure did love him. I got his picture in a little frame. He lost his life to a big disease before it even had a name. But there's so many more, and I've lost count. The hows and whys are important now. All the matters that they came along and brightened up our lives. She was 21 with a life ahead. You don't need to know her name. She breathed the last of a cold stone floor of a Hollywood arcade. But fate's right hand isn't always just. Puts a lot of pressure on your faith and trust. She was just a little girl, ain't that enough to rage against the day? Now how do we get so lucky? Targets on the rifle range. Who makes the call and who gets to choose? Who gets to win and who gets to lose? It's like rolling dice in the belly of the blues, and blues never fade away. Hey, 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 I'm the color rock when the rain falls, but blues never fade away. Look so bright with lots for light, like the sun king that it was, smashing some upon his wall, and were printed on supply. And for reasons I never understood about the choice made between the bad and the good, I've tried to figure out why the pain never goes away. How do we get so lucky? Target on the rifle range. Who makes the call and who gets to choose? Who gets to win and who gets to lose? It's like a rolling dice. but the blues never fade away. And then all the mornings and little white crutches along the beaten path, and I spread their ashes on the wind, and I miss John Levy's life. How do we get so lucky? Targets on the rifle range. Who makes the call and who gets to choose? Who gets to win and who gets to lose? And how do we get so lucky? Targets on the rifle range. Who makes the call and who gets to choose? Who gets to win and who gets to lose? It's like a rolling dice in the belly of the blues, and the blues never fade away. Hey, 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 I'm hard to run when the rain falls, but the blues never fade away.
Wonderful. Elton John, I just want to remind for those that are joining us, you are watching QVC and we are broadcasting live from Las Vegas, from the Caesars Palace Coliseum, and we have Cynthia Garrett joining us as well, who is known as a master interviewer from VH1. She's got a great line of jewelry, so much more. But what I would like to ask you, Elton, is we just heard this song that you performed about loss. And I've heard you talk about this particular album, which is your latest, called The Captain and the Kid. I've heard you talk about it being a very organic experience and how it encompasses all different things. Can you sort of explain what it encompasses in total?
Well, we recorded it in Atlanta, and we recorded it live on a stage at a theater which I really usually use to rehearsing, called Center Stage, which is now called some Earthlink. And I wanted to write and record like we did in the early days with the Honky Chateau album, Yellow Brick Road, with a band around me, so that as I was writing, they'd be picking up the songs and learning them. And we did a lot of the stuff live, and we finished the album within 20 days, and wrote and finished it in 20 days, which was like it was in the old days, so things were pretty quick, and it was so pleasurable to do that. And it wasn't like you were going into a recording studio, because there were no red lights, and no matter what you say, when you're in a recording studio and you go out there to do the vocal, there's something about a red light that puts you on edge. When you're running through, you're so relaxed, and then the red light goes on, and there's something inside you goes, ooh, red light's on.
Right.
So it was a really wonderful experience. I mean, I love my band very much, and we've made the last 3 albums, you know, pretty much together, and that's how I wanted to do this album, as a throwback to the old days.
And actually, Nigel, but some of the original band members on the first...
Nigel and Davey played on the Captain Fantastic album, yes.
And wasn't also Old 67, didn't you do that in just one take, that track?
More or less, yes. We did Old 67 in one take. It was one of those magical things where I looked at Matt, who was the engineer and producer on the record with me, and he said, "That's it." And I went, "What?" And he said, "No, that's it." And it's great. I mean, we're musicians, and we should be able to do things like that. And with technology, sometimes you wait around and you sit around, and I said, no, there's got to be a change here. We've got to go back to the way it was, and just have fun making a record. Sometimes records can be a little arduous, because you have to sit around a long time. This one, I was home at 7 o'clock. I went to the studio every day at 12. I was home at 7. Left the boys to do the backing vocals like they always did on the album. And it was just a very joyous experience. I honestly think, with the 2 albums, they're probably the 2 of the best albums I've ever done in my life. And I think this one, for me, and for Bernie, I know, definitely, this is his favorite album we've ever done.
But see, I can say this, and knowing you, you're too humble to say it, but